A rare earthquake rattled southeastern Australia on Wednesday, shaking buildings, knocking down walls, and sending panicked Melbourne residents running into the streets. The shallow 5.9 magnitude tremor hit east of the country's second largest city at the start of the working day and was one of the largest to hit the country in decades. Professor Emeritus and Chair of Geology at the University of Melbourne, Mike Sandiford, tells AFP that it is the largest earthquake recorded onshore in the state of Victoria and getting close to the largest recorded in Australia. Take a look.
This is the largest earthquake that we've recorded onshore in Victoria and New South Wales. So that makes it rare. It's not the largest earthquake we've recorded in Australia, but it's getting up there. Precise magnitude, probably 5.8 to 6. That will be determined by the work that we're doing now. Northeast of Melbourne, a couple of 100 kilometres away. But the felt area is huge, right across Victoria. I live on the Mornington Peninsula and the house shook for a good 5 seconds. I could feel the first wave come through, the P wave. The S wave came through a few seconds later. It's felt up in Canberra, and I've even heard reports of it being felt in Tasmania. So the felt area was very large, as it is appropriate to a magnitude 6 earthquake. The fact that it occurred in a remote area means we don't expect much damage at all. Had this earthquake occurred under Melbourne, we would probably be facing a damage bill of order $10 billion. And there would have been fatalities, likely. It's a wake-up call to us in Australia that while we live in thankfully, a seismically quiet continent, earthquakes are rare, but they're not. But we're not immune to them, and we need to be aware. We do have earthquake building codes and infrastructure building codes that inform our building of infrastructure and houses, and they're perfectly adequate for the job at hand.
The U.S. Geological Survey put the magnitude of quake at 5.8, later revised it to up to 5.9 and said it struck at a depth of 10 kilometers or 6 miles. Geoscience Australia reported the initial quake was followed by a series of 4 smaller ones ranging from magnitude 2.5 to 4.1. Sandiford said Australians should expect many hundreds of aftershocks, most below human sensitivity threshold, but probably a dozen or more that will be felt at least nearby. Emergency services said they had received calls for help as far away as Dubbo, about 700 kilometers or 435 miles from the quake epicenter, with fire and rescue crews dispatched to help. The mayor of Mansfield, near the quake epicenter, said there was no damage in a small town, but it had taken residents by surprise.
Earthquakes are rare,